everybody, Mike Tenney here at the Tenney School, and I suddenly find myself all alone in our facility. But that doesn't mean that I can't take you on a tour of our facility. So come along with me today. I'm going to take you on a private tour and let you know how the Tenney School works. The tour will just be me, but I will be hopefully splicing in some video where you can see real live students and teachers at work as we go through. So before we get out of this area, which is our lobby area of the school, I wanted to give you a little background on our school and how we operate. So the Tenney School has been around for a long time. It was founded in 1973 by my parents, George and Judy Tenney. They ran the school together for 36 years and then retired, and I took the school over in 2009, becoming the head of school at that point. There's three main components to the way we put our school together, and we'll see all three of those components on the tour today. The first component is one-to-one instruction, and this is what makes us unique and different. So our students all take private instruction for English, science, history, and math. We'll see a lot of those private instructional rooms as we go through the building, and I'll show you some videos of actual classes in action. That's a third of their day and the one-to-one instruction. We also have classroom instruction for elective subjects. So our students typically take 4 core classes and then 3 electives, and those 3 electives are all going to be taught in a classroom environment, as well as what we call our labs. So our core components will also have portions of the academics that are going to be taught in a group setting, and those we call our labs. So we'll go by some of the rooms where we'll have labs and electives today as well, and I'll show you some video as we go through those. So a third of the day is one-to-one instruction, a third is classroom instruction, the final third of the day is in what we call our homeroom. But overall, our student-teacher ratio is 2-to-1, so we don't want our teachers spending a lot of time on administrative things. We administrate the school through the homeroom program. Our students will spend about a third of their time there. That's where we'll take attendance, that's how we'll manage the lunch program. That's also where we're going to do all of our exams and testing. We don't take up classroom time to give exams, that happens in the homeroom. So that's an overview of our program and some background. Come with me now and we're going to go take a look at the lunchroom. So this is our lunchroom. It's also where our students are going to begin the day. Our facility hours are from 8 until 3, but most of what we schedule for students happens from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Our students all get badges, and they will badge in or out of the 2 doors that we just left and the one we just entered. So from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. is when we schedule the core of their day. We do run the school on 30-minute periods. So it's a very short period, and we feel like in our one-to-one instruction, that's all we need. We can accomplish so much in a 30-minute one-to-one period that we don't need to extend them longer. Education research would also suggest that that allows us to take advantage of real productive student attention time if we shorten the periods. So each day a student has their own schedule that's put together with those 30-minute periods, and they'll transition from one-to-one instruction to classroom instruction to homeroom throughout the day. Every day will be different for each student, and they all have their own individual schedules. As I mentioned, this is also where we start the day. Students will collect in here when they arrive before 9, and they'll either socialize or finish up their homework, and then we'll kind of transition to the back of the school for the core of the school day. They'll come back here for lunchtime also, and they'll have lunch together. But I want to show you one of our classrooms kind of just off of the lunchroom, and to show you our music room. So this is where we teach all of our music classes. We have 2 basic types of music classes. We have instrument classes where students who are just beginning to learn music can learn either basic piano or basic guitar. And then we have our bands. So students who become proficient in music will come and join our band program, and those students will join together with other musicians playing other instruments, and they'll select songs that they'd like to perform. Now our music program is not really a classical music program, it's more of a contemporary music program. So our students are typically picking from contemporary music that they'd like to learn and play with their friends. Next room we're going to show you is our math hallway. This is our first hallway where we have our one-to-one classrooms. This particular hallway is for math. So all of our math one-to-one classes are taught along in here. So our students from 6th grade on up to our seniors taking calculus will be on this hallway when they take their one-to-one math classes. And typically in math, they come in here and they sit down beside their teacher and they work on the whiteboard together. So for 30 minutes, this would be how they would take their one-to-one classes. This room is a little bit of a makerspace. I'm going to show you our computer lab in a bit. So our students who have taken a few computer classes will eventually get into the classes where they can do some engineering design work and some 3D printing, and that room is where they'll do that. All right, the next room we're going to show you is the computer lab. So I talked about the higher level computer classes just on the other hallway. This is where we start our computer programs. You can see in this room we've got 10 workstations for 10 students and 10 chairs. So even our classroom classes are not going to get all that big. In here we do application classes, we have programming classes. Eventually we get into those design classes where they use a 3D printer. A couple classes also meet in here, like our game design class and our yearbook class. They may meet in other classrooms as well, but they'll do a part of their work here in the computer lab. Across the hall from the computer lab we have our history hallway. Similar to the math hallway, but just for our history content area. You can see that our other departments all prefer face-to-face instruction. As we go down the hallway, you'll see those classrooms are all more designed so the student sits across from the teacher and they have more of a discussion-based lesson for the day. This is our science hallway. And on this hallway is a good opportunity to see how we share the one-to-one and the lab learning in some of our departments. This would be where the one-to-one science classes happen. This particular one is more life science and biology. Down the hallway we have our chemistry classes, our physics classes, some of our lower level 6th grade science, environmental science. But then across the hall we have our science labs. So all of our science classes are scheduled for a meeting in here a week where they will meet with all their peers that are taking the same classes as they are, and they'll do the hands-on part of science. So you can see we've got Bunsen burners, we've got Petri dishes, we've got lab equipment, different types of experiments that'll happen in here. So all of our different science classes will have a class in there. So this is the Galileo room, which is one of our classrooms. Most of our scheduled classes happen in a room like this. So we've got 10 chairs in here, we've got a whiteboard, we've got a computer and a projector, but any class could be in this room on any given period. So throughout the day, teachers will rotate in and out of here as they have classroom electives and classroom labs on their schedule, and the students will come in here and meet with their teachers. So again, our classrooms are pretty small, usually 10 students or less. And then finally, we have reached the English hallway. So we did math, we did history, we did science. Now this is where our English teachers collect. So 6th through 12th grade English, one-to-one classes all happen along in this hallway. Finally, we have arrived at our homerooms. So in this corner of the building, we have all of our homerooms, and students are assigned a homeroom based off of capacity needs as well as grade level. So we'll group kids by grade level, and they'll be assigned to one of our homerooms, which will have a homeroom teacher in to help the student stay on track. And in this time, they will be able to do their homework. They'll be able to take their exams. It's also how we administrate the school, making sure students have books and computer accounts, and if they need a reset, this would be where that would happen. So this is the final third of the day in homeroom. So you've seen all three components of the Tenney School at this time, and we encourage you guys to come for a visit when you can, but right now we're kind of at a limit and we can't receive any visitors, so we hope seeing the school in this way was helpful to understand how we operate. Please get in touch with us if you'd like any more information about how the Tenney School operates. Thanks and have a great day.